Guts and Glory, The Rise and Fall of Oliver North was released in 1983. This is directed by Mike Rowe, written by Rowe, with a cast including David Keith, Barnard Hughes, Annette O'Toole, Peter Boyle and various others. Because of Peter Boyle that I became aware of this and decided I want to watch it, and then I realised that it's about 3 hours. It was originally released as a TV miniseries, and I thought, okay, let's give this a go. And for the most part, I'd say I'm pleased I was. I don't necessarily think it needed to be 3 hours, but that's purely from my perspective. Also, it's about a subject with which I'm not familiar. I knew not very much about Oliver North. If anything, the name sounded familiar, and it looks at his military career while serving in Vietnam and his involvement with the Iran-Contra affair, which I knew nothing about. I don't even think I'd heard of that. So I did do a tiny bit of background reading beforehand, just so I had some basic knowledge, and that did help. I'm not saying that I wouldn't have understood anything had I not done that, but for me at least that helps. So if you want to watch it but you're coming from a similar perspective where there's a lot here that's brand new information, I think maybe doing just a little bit of basic background reading could be beneficial, but I don't think it's absolutely necessary. So I was going into this, yes, I wanted to watch it for Peter Boyle, but I wanted the education as well. It's definitely very detailed. I took everything with a pinch of salt. If anybody knows anything that's maybe factually inaccurate or fabricated for the film or the series, do let me know. But it felt believable. I learned a lot. There were a lot of takeaways. I will also say I probably didn't learn everything that was in the film or the duration of the 3 hours, because there is a lot going on. There is a lot of detail. And I did conclude at the end of it that if I were to ever want to study Oliver North in detail, I would be quite happy to go back and watch this all again. And for me to choose to watch something that's 3 hours, well, it almost never happens. So for me, that's a sign of something that was engaging, entertaining, hopefully factually accurate and educational. Again, I almost definitely didn't learn everything there was to learn in this, but I enjoyed the experience. The characters are well written, the performances are great. Again, I don't know if the characters are accurate, so that's worth bearing in mind, but certainly I have no complaints about anything that was presented at all. We have quite a lot, of course, of very dramatic scenes, but there are some scenes that are a bit slower, and in those moments we get a chance to get to know the characters a bit more, spend a bit more time with them, so that I thought was really well done. Plenty of action, but opportunities to slow things down, which, when it's 3 hours, I think is kind of necessary. Really, really great music. I wrote that in capitals in my notes. Loved the music. Great range of locations, good camera work and lighting. While I cannot vouch for its accuracy, I can confirm that I did enjoy Guts and Glory, The Rise and Fall of Oliver North. It is long. And as I said, for me, I don't think it necessarily needed to be 3 hours. There is a lot of detail. Nothing felt unnecessary as such. I guess this is just me saying I prefer things that are shorter. But if you are interested in Oliver North, then 3 hours, not that long. And as I said, I would be quite happy to go back and watch this again if I were to ever study Oliver North. But by all means, let me know if there's anything in this that's not completely accurate. But from my perspective, I rather enjoyed Guts and Glory. And I guess that means I'm happy to recommend it.